Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 2 days, around 2 days. For the 1056 to 1057 for the 14 to 15 of January. So I'm gonna turn off this one first in case I forget. And okay, we're gonna start off with the Borova front. So there is this is actually the latest as per this geolocation of Ukrainian forces over this tree line, which means that my previous map change, my judgment call is wrong. The Ukrainians are still in this area here after the Russians was geolocated somewhere around here. So which means the Ukrainian forces captured this area, or at least they retain position at this area in the northeast of Novokryakivka. So the front line, the distance between this from the previous front line is around 1.3 kilometers. Is basically geolocation is from Lozova is around 4.6 kilometers. So that's the frontline change over in this area. South of this area at Zeleny High, Russian forces been geolocated just northeast of Zeleny High. So Russian forces basically have advanced in this sector, taking off these grounds west of Vishnevy. And the total distance traveled is around 2 kilometers on average. So pretty significant. They are now just around 1.6 kilometers away from Zeleny High. So this is the front line change over in the Borova front. So the Russians are advancing on Zelena High. But it is a bit weird because the Russian Defense Ministry, 1 month ago said they have captured Zeleny High. But yeah, we still haven't have the information to prove that they are honest or they are correct about their capture. So the Russian forces still very far away. So anyway, after Zeleny High, we go all the way to Makiivka. Over at the Makiivka region, Russian forces have advanced and captured this banana-shaped forest. Actually, it's more like a brinjal, west of Makiivka, as they start to push out from Makiivka to aid on the attack on Kharkivka. So the total area traveled is 1.35 kilometers, or this brinjal is around 1.43 kilometers long. So a very very long brinjal. I'm quite sure it can't fit in. So after Makiivka is the basket at Chasivya. So Chasivya, the Russian forces have also make some changes. This is from Ukrainian mapping, confirming that the Russians have taken the forest just next to the this industrial plant. So in the middle of Chasivya. So this one small change at Chasivya. And then we go into Torex. At Torex, the major development in Torex, Russian forces basically have reached, geolocated at this outcrop of Torex. Basically confirmed Russian advance in this sector. And so this is actually pretty significant, as this confirmed that almost the entirety of this northwestern part of Torex is now fully under Russian control, and the distance traveled is around 700 meters. So if we zoom out, yeah, so this is where it is in the northwest of Torex. So after Torex, the next frontline change is over at the northern flank of the Pokrovsk front. In this northern flank, very small tiny change with Ukrainian mapping straighten the front line in this. They map that the Russians have taken some advanced position along this junction of trees west of Vostevzenka. And so small change, very tiny change around this area. Then we have frontline changes over at Zeleny. This marks the Ukrainian accepting that the Zeleny has been captured by Russian forces. So basically, as I mentioned, this is impossible to hold, and the frontline updates basically confirms that, yeah, they can't hold it because it cannot be held. So I'm correct again. So over in the Velyka and Pishane region, Russian Defense Ministry has announced the capture, but we still do not have the confirmation for that in terms of mapping. But the Russians did at least take everything east and south of Pischane, with frontline changes being marked by the Ukrainian mapping. Geolocation of Russian forces, this is one of the latest information, have seen Russian forces attacking towards Zvirove from the south of the reservoir or the lake. So there needs to be two different attacks, one coming from the north and one coming from the south, because there's this river going through. So this is the south, and the distance traveled is probably around 500 meters. So these are the frontline change over at Vivrove. Over in the Solone region, the Russian forces have expanded control. This I've reported this in a quick update about the Russians, and I believe in the summary as well. With Russian forces, let me push out a bit. With Russian forces, advancing and taking a foothold over at the railway line between Kotline and Uzdashne, and also pushing westward from the Russian controlled region north of Solone. So this is pretty significant. The distance traveled in the north is maybe around 500 meters on average, and towards the west, I believe is more or less the same. It's also around 500 meters. And south from Solone, Russian forces have entered into Uspenivka. This is based on the latest mapping from Ukrainian mapping, as the Russian forces have entered Uspenivka from the, I believe, captured Novosilka. The Ukrainians continue to keep this intestine here. They haven't abandoned this intestine, so I'm not sure when they're going to chop it off, because they can't shit here. So that's all from this area. Over at Novoyelizaveta, the Russian forces has advanced in the northeast of Novoyelizaveta, capturing the entire tree line. This is a pretty long tree line. This mapping by Ukrainian mapping, the total length of the tree line is around 3.6 or 3.7 kilometers long. It's a very long tree line, and the distance traveled is roughly around 500 meters. But capturing the tree line is pretty important, as the Russians continue to advance westward and in the direction of Novo-Alexandrivka and Nedievka. So in the south of Novo-Alexandrivka at Yasinove, Russian forces also have made some advance. In the north of Yasinove, Russian forces have captured more grounds and entering Yasinove from the north. And with the latest mapping, the Russians have taken most of the south of Yasinove as well. So if we zoom in, you'll probably see that this is a previous mapping where the Russian forces have entered. So this was an earlier update. And the Russians, of course, already have taken this eastern outskirt or eastern part of the town. And with the latest update, the Russian forces have basically advanced down in the southern street. And so Yasinove is now on the verge of full capture by the Russian forces very soon. So that's all from Yasinove. After Yasinove, we go to Slovianka. South of Slovianka, Russian forces advance down the three lines and captured this tree line south of Slovianka. So small thing. The distance of this tree line traveled is around 1.25 kilometers. So not a very short one, pretty long tree line. At Shevchenko, the entire southern part all along the Voschar River has been taken by the Russian forces, according to the Ukrainian mapping, and they have advanced basically on the outskirt of Andriivka. Entire south of Shevchenko is now taken by the Russian forces, leading all the way up to Stary Terny. So pretty significant. The total length of this front line is 7.77 square kilometers, and it's 777. So we have just won the what's that called? I forgot. Slot machine. Yeah. Oh my god. 777, then you win a lot of money, right? Ring. Anyway, yeah, luckily I'm not a gambler, so I don't understand all these things. So I don't get triggered. So over in the south at Yantarne, Russian forces have taken another tree line, and Ukrainian mapping mapped it all the way to Sukiali, with Russian forces taking control along the Sukiali River, and building up a good foothold for the advance northward. So yeah, so that's all from Yantarny. We go into Velyka Novosilka, and then we go into this one hell of a collapse. So the Ukrainian, not Ukrainian, the Russian forces have entered into Vremivka in the latest update. And before that, the Russian forces has been geolocated in the north of Nekushny, and they have fully captured Nekushny. With the collapse of the entire Nekushny front, or Nekushny region, the Russian forces is now threatening the Ukrainian forces at Velyka Novosilka. I have done a quick update on this, explaining the situation facing the Ukrainian forces. So do check it out. I will put it at the end of this video. So so that's all from all the frontline changes. We will now do the total the calculation of the total area captured. So analyzing the square kilometers, the Ukrainians have retaken 2.29 square kilometers. This is less of recapture, but more like it's my mistake, and returning the land to Ukraine. But in terms of the total area captured, Pokrovsk take the lead for the past 2 days with all these changes, all these captures here and there, leading to nine square kilometers. So let's see, this is 2.71, this is 2.16. So a little bit here, a little bit there, and build up to 9. The next biggest frontline change is over at Velyka Novosilka because of the capture of Nekushny and the entry into Vremivka. So this whole chunk it adds up to 8 square kilometers. Then we have Borova with the frontline change over at Zeleny High, which is a big piece of land. This itself is 5.52 square kilometers. And yeah, so Krakow itself also pretty big because of Shevchenko. So anyway, so let's do the mathematics to calculate what's the total area captured by the Russian forces. We have 5.52 plus 1.09. Oops, let's recount. 5.52 plus 1.09 plus 0.04 plus 0.53 plus 9.07 plus 4.65 plus 8.03. So total area capture is 28.93 square kilometers. So this is slightly lesser than previous days. But of course, I'm not sure. Let's see, maybe it's because we haven't seen the next Deep State UA report of the frontline changes. But yeah, so this, for at least for this report, is total 28.93 square kilometers. Let me add it in. So 28.93 square kilometers. So anyway, that's it. So thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and so yeah, check out the videos, the quick updates that is published on DPA War. So for those that do not know, I'm now publishing all these quick reports on DPA War. So check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next update.